Hey people, this memory popped up on Facebook from a year ago. And I like what it does that because usually I find something strange and I take a shot of it and then I go investigate it more later. And I learn more about these words surrounding it. And then I kind of get sidetracked off on something else. And I learn much about this, but I get sidetracked and end up somewhere else. And so when I come back to these, I know a whole lot more about them, and I can get a better reading on them. But this is this word here, Isis, I-S-I-S, Yad Shin, Yad Shin. And you see it here, it's the kinesis, to move from an outside force. Sometimes it's Isis, to give gubber, the government, the mighty men, to give government, G-B-U-R. Into all hell, Kli, Isis, holy, give, kill. And here it is again with the gubber. The gubber make to show, Isis, holy, give. You see it around this O-L-I-K, aholic. So the word holic, holy, all, give to. If you're a workaholic, you give all, make fold everything to your work, aholic. If you're alcoholic, you're all in the alcohol. All give, aholic. So if you're new here, Google Hebrew letter meanings chart or Phoenician letter meanings chart, because this isn't Hebrew. This is a Teutonic. It's an ancient English language. Hebrew is a writing style. And study all of them, the ones with several languages, and see they all had the 22, and they all meant the same thing. They were all about the same at one time. Study these meanings, and I'm going to tell you some extra meanings that you can find in some of these charts. But one of the main one is this N, is cycles, and as in when, W-H-E-N. When is to connect, the Vav, W-N, connect the cycle, when. New is the cycle, connected, Vav, new, N-U. And instead of these letters, get the meanings of them. Check out these with the older picture language and get a better idea to help you remember these new block style Hebrew letters. And check them all, the word meanings on them. The D is a door, and the man is a life. And when you're talking about a life, it's often the when it starts. When somebody says the word elite, it means the elite. So you have two words that are similar. You have to watch the spelling because they mean the opposite. The leth. The leth is big, stoutness. And you change that one letter, and it's almost the opposite here. It's thin, it's supple, and graceful. So if you were saying the lith, it would be elith. Elith and elith are two opposite meanings. And so check out, there's 22 letters to remember. And this Vav takes place the W-U and V, Vav, and then this Yod takes place the J, Y, and I. J, Y, and I. So that gives you your full 26 letters. So when I started this, I went back to an older alphabet, and you can see it here. There was less. There was 10 and 13 letters. And this will give you a better idea of what these writings are about. This represents the crotch of Isis, or crotch of Nana. This is your chi. This is what became your letter X. And this is your row, the chi row. And you can see that's what Christianity's all about, is the chi row. Just the chi row. It's your drugs, RX. That's what all these writings were about. That's why they were kept secret. It's the RX. You can see her here. This is the crotch of Isis. Nana, Isis. She's holding the row. Chi row. And here was the ancient seventh letter. This is Zion. Zion means weapon. And so this represents a double-headed axe, but it also this is called the Diablo. You might hang it on a boat if you're fishing, if you're trawling. You'll hang these 2 day shapes up so a boat can tell that you're dragging a net behind you and won't run over your net. It's called Diablo. That's the seventh letter, Zion, the letter of the devil, and that's why Zion was put to be the last letter in all the alphabets, because God didn't want the devil's letter on his seventh day. But what you're looking at here, you're looking at your ancient Z. That's where your Z come from. That's why sometimes you'll see just a Z with a little mark, or a 7, same 7 with a little mark across it. And so the Zion in Diablo is here. This is your Zion. You imagine if he put this hand down, you would have a Z here. The Zion and the Diabol. 2 bowls. Diabol. And this ancient toy that teach you all about torsion. Diabolical. And they outlawed this toy. But it's ancient. It's as ancient as that first script. It's ancient as this first script we were looking at. If you look it up, they'll say it's a newer, because they outlawed it, because they didn't want people to learn. Want all people to be dumb for a long time now. But you can read about it on Wiki, a Chinese yo-yo, or a diabolical, the devil, Diablo. So today I'm going to get jiggy with it, and I'm not paying any royalties because that's an ancient phrase. It's old as the Bible. And so we're going to look up in Zephaniah. I want to look at this here first. This is Gubber, G-B-U-R. That's where your word government comes from. It's usually given the meaning mighty men. We see here in international, it's a warrior, Gubber. And then this word here, very similar to the word Jesus, and it'd always be given, any word close to this would be given the meaning salvation, J-U-S-I-O, Josiah. And you see it here in King James, says it means save, salvation. All the things that it says in the New Testament about Jesus, that's the meanings that will be given throughout the Old Testament. The Gubber, Josiah. Isis is his, I-S-I-S, is his holic. Holic is too much of. Insane, B-S-M, insane he. So this is you. It doesn't mean Yahweh. It means you. You. And these words starting with A read backwards. We've been reading them the wrong way for so long that they've come in our language that now we recognize them, but they actually read backwards. You give is in your God. You give Yel. In forbid. Gubber. And forbidden. Forbid to govern. And here's that word that looks like Jesus, Jusio, will save. And forbid gover, to make yod, make use, to make see, is his holy, O-L-Y, holy, all of give, is his holic, is all of give. Be in same he, H-E. In same he, make her his. In same he, make her his babe. He will quiet you with his love, to make her his, H-R-I-S. To make her his babe to, B-A-E-B, to make her his babe to Igil, I-G-I-L. Or if you read it all close together, it's T-W-I-G-I-L, to wiggle, holic, to have to dance. He will rejoice. To make her his babe, to wiggle, holic. And this is born, B-R-N-E. And the way we get that is B is in, R is first, N is cycle, and E is life. And the first cycle of life is when you're born, B-O-R-N-E. And if you look at some old English writings, you'll see that born ends with E. To make her his baby, in same he, make her his babe, to wiggle, holic, born. To begin to be a wiggle-holic. And if you ever go to an old black church, you might see them, and they will be rejoicing and wiggling in the aisle. He will rejoice to wiggle. I seen a movie of an old African tribe somewhere close there to the Red Sea. And when the king would die and his son would take over, he would have a dance contest. And the best dancer would become his advisor, because the best dancer is the one who it's like a trance. You totally turn loose. You can't control your body and let the spirits control. And so the new king decided, the best dancer was the one that could talk to his forefathers and give him answers. So if we look at this word eagle, it's a yod, to make. The G is the foot. Yod again, the work. And L is of, to make footwork of. And that's my buddy's old mom used to say, boy, that makes me so happy. I just want to get on the table and dance the jig. That could be the JG, the IG, the YG. But here it's the WIGIL, the wiggle. Dance the jiggle. But if we look at this word here, this IGIL, well, we can find it right here. It looks like an ancient Chinese instrument called IGIL, the eagle. Ooh, that looked like it would make you want to start to dance there. And when I looked at it, it sure looked like this old ancient Nefer symbol. And if you read on it, they say it means good, pleasant, beautiful. Beautiful is its main meaning. And if you read on it, they'll say that they once thought it was a musical instrument. Well, it's plain to see the bridge is tight. And it's plain to see that it's an ancient musical instrument. And in order to change everybody's language, they're trying to say that this is the heart and the esophagus. But your esophagus doesn't connect to your heart. It connects to your lungs to sing. Oh, that's better over there in the jiggle, in the wiggle. So if somebody had picked up their old eagle, to iggled would be W-iggle, to iggle. It would probably make you want to get up and dance the jig. So this is sad King James story about he will quiet you with his love, he will rejoice over you with singing, actually says to make her his babe to wiggle, aulic born, a new dancer. So this word iggle, will rejoice, we'll see it come up in many ways. And if we look at this one on the top here, comes up 3 times. It's agile, A-G-I-L-E, agile. Well, it actually reads backwards. This word came known to us because we didn't know to read this backwards. But somebody who's really agile, they would have to stretch out the E, L-I-G, the liga, L-I-G-A. If you stretch out your ligaments, you'll become very agile, like a dancer. Agile, to rejoice and be glad. Boy, I can move again. I'm not so stiff as I was before I had a couple of drinks. We can see that that's where your word Gilly. Gilly. Well, she's so gilly, she's happy. To be glad, rejoice, the gilly. The foot, to rejoice so greatly, O daughter. The gilly mad, mad as in madly, very much. Gilly, very gilly, but you can see it here in the wiggle, W-G-I-L-I, wiggly, wiggly, and rejoice, wiggly. The rain, R-N-U, renew, renew, first new, to begin again, renew, a new year, renew, the same form, S-M-I-M, renew the heavens, renew the shame, the shamim, wiggle, the wiggle, W-G-I-L-I, the wiggle make. And then, and this old word, earth, is not A-R-X, but it's X-R-A, and it means share. And it's like a crop sharer. They're working the earth for a share. Your ancient plows, your first plows would have been called a plowshare, plow the earth. But to renew the heavens, the wiggle share, to wiggles the earth. To make picks, who? To make picks. Picks is when you want to run somebody out of town, you raise picks, your pitchfork. To make picks to usually means to scatter. Picks, make picks who. To make picks who hear from. The mountains are the ears on the side, the ear. To make hear, to make picks to hear from. These that are in the 2 different quotations or in the 2 different parentheses, it means that it was changed because the words have a number value and they had to change it by 4 here. This was the number value 10, this yod, and it's the same word with a number value of 6 here. So you'll see this throughout the Bible, and sometimes it'll change number values. Most of the time, 10, 4, and 6, but sometimes it's different. But you only need to read one. Usually the first one works. To make picks who hear from rain. From this point on, rain. The renew the heavens, make to the wiggly. The wiggly is what happens when is the precession of equinoxes. They say that we've got a wiggle, and we wiggle in a circle every 30,000 years or so. The wiggle. So we renew the heavens. We have a new God, and you see it in the old Sumerian stories that a new God reigns. 12 gods take turns of reigning, and we're coming in to the age of Aquarius. We're coming out of the age of Pisces. Before that was the age of Aries. Before that was the age of Taurus. And the wiggly share wiggles the earth to make picks who hear from, to pick a new ruler, to make picks who hear from renew, or hear from rain, R-N-E. The R is the first, the king's letter, power, the first seed life, the first cycle of life, the new beginning, the rain to give. And this will read backwards and forwards from M-H-N-H-M. So to give, K-I, give from on, H-N is on, from on him you home to. Home to as in, the place that you're going, a homing pigeon is home to. From on him you home to a new, Vav, O-N-I-W, a new, to see the cycle make connect. When the cycle makes connect, you went all the way around the year, it's connected. Now you're starting a new year. To a new year from, I-R-H, to make first divide. So these words come from some of the first knowledges that you have to know from reading the heavens. Is the year. You have to learn how to look at pictures and writings and figure out what year it was. The year from, M is from, to a new year from. Renew the heavens, the wiggle share. Make picks who, his pick is in P-I-C-K. Make picks who hear from rain. Give from on him you home to a new year from. So we can see that all these I-G-I words, I-G-I-L, they don't, they changed up a lot. You don't find one here that comes up many times. This is not even the same. It shouldn't belong in this category. It's just a TGL. But they're given all meaning rejoice, glad. But it's the cycle of the footwork. The cycle of the footwork and dancing. The cycle of footwork by in life in Nigel. Eagle, the worked foot of. Rejoice. Be glad. Wiggle, jiggle. This niggle, N-G-I-L-E, that's probably even angel, Angile, Agile. It's a good chance that's where your word angel comes from. The nig is we're worldwide a group of gods in Africa, in India, and in the Americas. Long before all this, everybody had this group of gods called the nig. You can find it in this book called Power of the Bull. Power of the Bull by Michael Rice, and you can get a section of it here on this Google Books, and I'm gonna get into that. But you can see talks about the nig, and I don't know how much it costs. I didn't look because what I was looking for was in this free portion. I just Googled nig and found it. You can learn a lot about the nig here. And it's like the share, the earth. They're like the first plowing. You can see here this nig, Ng, nig, and this is an angry bull. When you see it like this, the black bull is also is angry. It's hard to tell on this, but he's turned looking sideways, like he's looking over his shoulder, like, what the hell are you doing in my field? I'm fixing to come put one in you. This is the word for the white bull. And the red bull is an ancient drink. This is the word for red bull. This is the angry nig, the angry bull. But you can find that if you just Google nig. You'll see this come up on Google Books, and if you read up higher, you'll see that it was worldwide. The Power of the Bull, and this is it's probably a good book to get and get all this information. There's a lot of it that's free here. So I'm gonna cut this off here. Nobody likes my long movies, and I'm gonna post this and then I'll watch it to see what I missed out on, and I'll add to this later. All right. Good day, people.